All right, what's up, guys? Part two with home and beyond services, beyond marketing and web design, and soon to be beyond digital labs. Let's go to our marketing profile. So, I have been neglecting scheduling posts because it takes a long time. It is very time consuming, especially if you have to create the content. Um, I have hundreds of static and animated content that I've created throughout the past year, so I can cycle those when I need to, and when I want to create new, I can create new. But still, even if you already have the content that you want to schedule, it is so time consuming to go to the Meta Business Suite and schedule, write a good caption, make the caption SEO, and pick the right ones, and it's just pick the right times. It's just think about you got to do 30 posts and each one is going to take you, you know, 10 minutes at least. Depends on how, optimal you want to be with the SEO. Now imagine you have beyond marketing and web design, home and beyond services, local climate control systems of Tampa. Um, there's another one, I don't remember. Yeah. So now imagine 30 posts, 10 minutes each for 4 profiles. It's ridiculous. It would take me, if I had the content, it would take me all day nonstop. If I didn't have the content, if I had to create new content, it would take me days, you know? So I looked into social media posting platforms. Now, Wix has it. If you have a Wix account, you can do it through Wix, but they only allow you to have 3 profiles, three entities. So it's one too short. The Meta Business Suite doesn't have any limits. There are other paid options out there. Meta Business Suite is free. But that wasn't the problem. The problem is the time. I just did not want to sit here and schedule a post. Um, and I tried building automations with it before, but I was doing it the wrong way. I was going about it the wrong way. So I think after 2 years of being in front of this computer almost 24/7, learning and getting the experience working with AI, working with scripts and softwares and bots and stuff like that, I think I've figured it out. I think the answer is just going headless and just writing a script and having AI launch it for you. So that's what we're doing here now. We have Cloud Code, we have our script. Cloud verified that it is fully functional, no problems, which I don't believe because the agent prior that actually helped me build the script um, messed up really bad. I mean, he like almost wiped out my entire directory. Anyway, long story short, as far as I know, the script is messed up. The last agent couldn't even schedule a post. He was actually scheduling Windows task scheduling events to make instant posts. So basically, the scheduling part was in my Windows, and then, for example, tomorrow the task scheduler would trigger a new post. So I started with this new agent, and I said, "Hey, can you check this script out and tell me what's wrong with it?" And he just said, "Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it works. It does this. It does that." I said, "Oh, really? Okay. All right." I said, "I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. This is what we're gonna do." I said, "Since you say it works and everything's good," I said, I gave him this. I said, all right, well, let's go ahead and do this then. Post one schedules now to Beyond Marketing. Post two schedules in 10 minutes, oh, 2 minutes now, to be on marketing. Post three, same thing. Post four, same thing. And it says, what does it say? Post one, BMWD, new service offered, logo animation published. Post three, published. Post two and four, HBS quality showers are queued in the background job that publishes them at exactly 22:40. See, that's not what I want. I don't want a background job in my computer that just waits and then publishes it. You should be able to schedule it on Meta Business Suite. But it's not doing it. But let's see if it even posted these. 4 hours ago earlier. Let's refresh it. Oh, it did. Look at that. It did. It posted it. New service. What a fucking scumbag. Hey, that caption is super SEO, by the way. Like, really, you really went above and beyond to make that SEO. Good job. Well, you better not publish anything else unless you ran the SEO layer. Like, how could you possibly think that it's okay to publish this knowing I need SEO captions? Like, what kind of helpful assistant is that, dude? You know? And people are afraid they're going to lose their jobs to these guys. Nobody's doing it. That's on me. You know how many times they tell me that's on me or you're right? At least 30 times a day. At least. Well, while he does that, let me show you guys a little app that we built for a friend of ours. She is the owner of Express Permitting Services down in West Palm, Boynton, and she's been talking to me about automating certain parts of her business because she's a single business owner. She runs the whole show herself. Sometimes she'll hire like a teenager for extra help here and there. But she says she's tired of having to have to go on to the building department's portal to check if a status of a permit has changed. Although they do send email updates, they're not reliable. So she told me about the problem, and I said, hey, that's actually a very simple fix. I can just write a headless script for you that just runs in the background and goes and pulls API keys if there are API keys available, gets the data you need, and then puts it in an email for you and sends it to your inbox, or pops up a notification on your computer, or could pop up a push notification on your phone. That's getting a little more complex. But that was the original idea. And once I built it and I saw that it was working, and I was like, I just have this problem where I just can't stop. Like, I have to just do more. And it's a big problem. And I need to get it under control. I'm gonna look at that right now. Is there we go. Beyond permanent status. This is the app I built for her. Basically, um, what she'll do is she'll enter permit numbers here, add permit. She'll just enter a bunch of permit numbers. and it'll log in here, or she can go in settings and no, not in here. Okay, so that's where you have the permits. But in settings, you can set your schedule, run on, custom days, weekdays, every day, times. You can add more times. Where do you want the notifications to go to? What email SMTP is the software you're going to use to send the email. You put the credentials here. You save it. And then, even though you have a schedule, you still have the option to manually check it real quick. And also, we have a light theme and a dark theme. So, whatever floats your boat. Archive is where old stuff goes. We don't delete anything. Scan logs. This is the app log when a scan ran. If there was an error, if something didn't work, everything is here. So the developer, myself, can, if there's a problem, I can just check this out and see what the problem was. And this is just like a user-friendly version of it. There's really more detail on the back end. So we're at, okay, permits, and this is the main page. Add your permits, add it, and they all go on the list here. That's it. And it automatically checks the website. It crawls the website. It scrapes the website for the data that you're asking it to scrape, and it brings it back to you, lets you know. And it doesn't just so it so the way I set it up was I wanted it to send an email, a notification every time it ran the scan. But on every scan where nothing has changed since the last scan, the subject line should say no changes so that Crystal doesn't have to open every single email to see if something changed or not. She could just see the notification on her phone or on her computer and see it says no changes. She doesn't have to worry about it. If there is a change, it'll say new changes. So she knows to look at that. Something just happened. The reason I did that, she didn't want a whole bunch of notifications if there were no changes, but it's a brand new app. We're in beta testing. I wanted to send a notification because I want to see if it runs a scan. I want to see if it sends notifications every time. This is the debugging stage. So, and I learned that really quick. I was really stressing myself out in the beginning because everything I built was just bug after bug after bug and failures and errors. And I was like, I really got discouraged there for a while until, I learned more and I realized that every single app that you guys use and that we all use on the computer, on the phone, they don't just build the app and then immediately ship it out. Like they build the app and there's like a serious debugging phase before it even goes to production. And even when it goes to production, it will go out as beta testing, to let the people use it, report errors, and they fix it, because realistically, there's really no way to like just run an automated scan and catch every little bug and fix it. There's just no way. Um, so yeah, so this is the app. We're calling it Beyond Permit Status. I like the little animation I did there. Um, yeah, that's that. So, and really, this could be customized for anything. I can adjust this to, man, pretty much anything. Whatever you need to check, whatever you want to keep, whatever you want to be updated on. I could probably set it up to scrape a site that has stock market readings. I could probably set it up for emails easy. I can, without this app, I can get email scans and automations. But yeah, basically any online platform, I can set up a bot to run headless, crawl the site, and scrape whatever data you want it to scrape and bring it back to you. That's it, guys. Batu with, I guess, Beyond Digital Labs, Home Beyond Services, and Beyond Marketing and Web Design. I think we're just going to call it all Beyond Services. Just call it. That's what we're doing. So that's that. And yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of other stuff going on here. I have Cloud SIP, which is my It's a phone app that does not need a regular phone um, provider like AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever. It runs off of VoIP service. You pay per API call. You pay for what you use. It's got voice. It's got text. It can record all the calls. It can play a disclaimer in the beginning. You can automate anything you want with AI. You can set up an AI agent to answer it, do whatever you want with it. But there was a huge problem with that is that you can't hook up an SIP service to a regular phone. You have to have a special app. And every single app out there was trash. I couldn't do it. I could not use something like that. So I took the best one out of all of them. I modified it. Took me about a week. I almost got it to where I wanted to work, but there were still some problems. There was like voice quality. It was just not feeling like a native Android app. It did not feel like the phone app that the phone came with. So what we did was, um, we decided to just take the app. We decided to just take the phone app in the phone itself and modify that. And yeah, by the way, this is another app. You click a button and it mirrors your phone. I have two phones. It mirrors at a click of a button. Got that there. And that is this right here. This little guy. So originally it didn't come with messages. I don't think it came with contacts. I had to add those in there. And the design was very clunky. I didn't like it. It didn't look right. And it just didn't look right. I didn't like it, dude. Recent settings. All these settings were in here. We had to add them. This was a very primitive app. And then what's this? See, Twilio Beyond Industries. That's actually my agent's phone line in my computer in a specific directory where if something happens, they could send me a text message, or I can send them a text message and like tell them to update a specific log for a client or a note, something I want to note real quick. I'll just send them a text message and they receive the text message. They categorize it into the specific directory that it needs to go to and it gets logged into memory. Does it do exactly that right now? No. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. And actually, today I integrated a voice model into it so I can call it and my agents can call me and talk to me live. So I can have a conversation with a directory in my computer. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Um, that's going to be a big build. That's going to be a long time to get perfect. Right now, I got other plans for it. And I can't sit here and go over all the apps I have and explain everything to you guys, but yeah, man, stay tuned and we'll see what else we're doing next. We'll go over one of these other apps, and these are just apps that are kind of ready to go almost. I have an entire repo full of source code for hundreds of apps that I'm working on or I'm modifying. But anyways, yeah, we're all about building fully custom applications, software, bots for small business owners. Or hey, you don't even have to be a business owner. You just got too much going on and you want to take something off your plate, hit me up. I will give you the cheapest and the most reliable solution you could possibly use to achieve your goal. That's it.